Hello, math students. Welcome back to our module called Linear Equations. This is lesson 9, as it is called an application of linear equations. Our goal for today we will practice solving linear equations to get complete solutions. The question that I want you to think about in this lesson is, what are the steps for solving linear equations? So one of the things that we have to be able to do is we have to be able to solve linear equations in whatever form they present. And one of the things that is really nice in being able to show that you can apply this learning to any situation is if we had a geometry problem where we had to solve for the angle value. So right here in the Show What You Know, we have two triangles, and they are not drawn to scale. But the information that we do know is that it says that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. And geometry, when they say that two shapes are similar, it means that they have equivalent parts. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, is right here. And you will notice that they give you that this angle measure on the ABC triangle is equal to 7x minus 4, whereas the same angle measure on triangle DEF is equal to x plus 32. Since we know that the triangles are similar, then we can say that angle A corresponds with angle D, and the reason why we can say that is because of the order that the triangles were named. Since this says triangle ABC and this says triangle DEF, we know that angle A corresponds to angle D, angle B corresponds to angle E, and angle C corresponds with angle F. So because they correspond, as you've learned earlier in geometry, correspondence means that they are equivalent or they are equal. So the question that I would like you to figure out is, what is the angle measure of angle A and angle D? So in order to figure that out, we have to be able to use what we know about them being similar, means that they're equal, and we have to remember the steps for solving a linear equation. We know that this is a linear equation because we have the variable x in both of the triangle angle measures, and neither of them are raised to a power that is greater than 1. So we know that they are linear. We also know that they are equivalent. So what I would like to do is set up the equation as 7x minus 4 equals x plus 32. So what we have right here is a linear equation, and if you remember the steps that we have to go through, the first thing that you have to do always is you have to see if you have anything to distribute, and right now we don't have anything to distribute. So then the next step on the list is that we have to get the x's, since it's the same variable, all to the same side. So the first thing that I would like to do is I would like to unhook this x being added to 32. So what I need to do is, in order to unhook it, I have to do the opposite operation, which right now it's being added and it's positive. So I would subtract x to unhook it. When you subtract x, you need to do that to both sides of the equation in order to keep them balanced. And what we get is 7x minus x gives me a 6x, and x minus x gives me a 0 pair. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a 0. So now my equation says 6x minus 4 equals 32. Then, if I'm continuing on that path of what we need to do, I now can either unhook this negative 4 from this side of the equation, or I can do a BU chart, which will tell me the same thing. So if I make a BU chart really quick, I know that my variable is x. I know that the initial operation, or the first operation that's happening to x, is that I'm multiplying by 6. And then this, if we remember, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. I am subtracting 4. So I need to add 4, divide by 6, and then I'm left with x. So let's give it a try. We're going to add 4 to both sides, adding 4 to both sides. So right here we get a 0 pair, and then right here we get 36. And then on the left-hand side of the equation, we're left with 6x. So now I have 6x equals 36. I'm supposed to divide this side by 6, divide this side by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. I've been noticing recently that you guys have been putting like the 0 pair looks like that. Instead of it being a 0 pair, because this really means 0, it's actually 1. So I would like you, if you're going to be doing that kind of stuff, make this a 1, because 6 divided by 6 is really 1, and 1 times x is x. And then we have 36 divided by 6, which is 6. So now we know that x equals 6. Well, if we know that x equals 6, then the next step of what we are supposed to do is we're supposed to find the angle measures for both angle A and angle D. So I go back up here to my picture, and it says angle A is equal to 7x minus 4. So now what I have to do is I have to take the value of x, which happens to be 6, and plug it in. So this is really saying 7 times 6 minus 4. 7 times 6 is 42, minus 4 is actually 38. So the angle measure for angle A is 38 degrees. Okay, and then I also have to find that for D, because it says right next to it that it needs to have the angle measure for angle D. So I'm going to do the same thing. So angle D, according to the picture up here, says that angle D is x plus 32. So I have x plus 32 right here. So I'm going to substitute what the value of x is in. So I actually have 6 plus 32, 32. And then I know that 6 plus 32 equals 38. And so angle D is equal to 38 degrees. And what you will notice is that angle A is 38 degrees, angle D is 38 degrees. That proves that what we said up here about triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, that proves that these are the exact same size, which is what we started out initially in order to solve for x. Okay? So this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be doing when you're trying to get complete solutions. All right, you're taking the information that you are slowly learning about similar triangles, about regular linear equations. You're remembering you have to distribute first, then you have to get your variable on the same side, then you have to combine like terms if necessary, then you have to do the BU chart, and finally you found the solution for your variable. Then you have to take the solution for your variable and a lot of times plug it back in to get the final requested answer. All right, so our goal for today. Today we will practice solving linear equations to get complete solutions. The question that I asked you to think about are, what are the steps for solving linear equations? If we want to write them down one more time, because the more we see it, the more we remember it. First step is to distribute anything, if you have to, distribute, right? The second step would be to combine like terms, right? The third step would be get variable to one side, and then I'm also going to put in parentheses, or same side, right? Doesn't matter which side, just as long as they're on the same side. Step 4 would be to apply or use a BU chart, right? And then finally, step 5 would be solve for the variable. Okay, so those are the steps that it takes to solve linear equations. All right, kiddos, that's all I have for you in this lesson. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!